SpaceX's Starship rocket, the largest and most powerful rocket ever, successfully lifted off today. Such an incredible piece of engineering and moment for humanity. Big congratulations goes to the SpaceX team. This is an incredible accomplishment. The mainstream media, though, said that the SpaceX second Starship test flight ends in another explosion. When Starship finally separated and began flying on its own, I thought, yeah, we just changed the course of history. Oh, but it exploded! Lots of great things actually happen, and such a smooth launch should mean a relatively quick turnaround for the next test flight. So overall, it's a huge success. It's like people looking at the original Roadster from Tesla saying, oh, but look at the panel gaps. Yeah, but it's an EV, and it works, and it's fast. And sure, there's fire or explosion, but in the end, there is a lot of progress made here. We have some good news for Tesla investors here. A US judge has dismissed an antitrust lawsuit accusing Tesla of forcing customers to pay high prices and suffer long waits for repairs by monopolizing the markets for vehicle maintenance and replacement parts. The judge said the proposed class action failed to show either that the alleged problems were not generally known when they bought their vehicles or that they could not predict the cost to keep their vehicles running. She also said customers could not prove that Tesla coerced them into using its services and parts simply because they had bought their vehicles in the first place.
Joining me now to discuss what's next for Musk, Twitter, and the rest of his empire is Slow Ventures' Sam Lessin. Sam, what's the thought in the Valley about all this?
I mean, isn't it kind of business as usual? Like, I think it's really disappointing to see these words from Musk. Musk has a history of saying some pretty outlandish and pretty awful things. I think the reality is that he owns Twitter outright. And, the only thing that changes how Musk behaves is the price of Tesla stock. So, if people don't like it, they should sell Tesla stock. It's nice that IBM pulls, other people might pull, but he can afford to float this forever.
So, and I saw, Sam, your thoughts that, there's only a couple of ways to exert pressure here, and that is sell your Tesla. That's really the only publicly traded one. If you're an employee, you say then quit, even if you're part of the broader Musk empire. I mean, is the idea that everyone is feeling frustrated with his behavior and just can't seem to find a way to get him to stop it, even as it seems to be self-sabotage?
Yeah, I mean, the way I think about it is like, I actually am a huge freedom of speech believer. And I think a lot of the principles that Musk, kind of bought Twitter on, being like, this should be an open, free forum. People should say what they believe. I'm with him on all of that. I mean, part of what's frustrating about Musk is he's not totally wrong about everything. But I think part of the, the unintended calculus there is you empower a voice who says some pretty terrible things all the time, with very little sense of consequence. It's good that he's so rich and powerful that he can't be swayed. It's bad that he's so rich and powerful that really nothing is going to affect how he then chooses to speak himself, other than one, doing what public market people can do, which is don't own Tesla, right? Like, that's the only thing he cares about that matters financially. Or two, if you are an employee, it used to be that Musk is not known as a great employer, but he had the coolest companies to work on. If you want to be in space, you work at SpaceX. If you want to work on electric cars, you worked at Tesla no matter what, because that's where the mission was. But the world is changing. Those engineers have other options now they didn't have before, and they should take them.
It makes a bit more sense after you understand that Sam, the guy that was just speaking, is a pretty rich guy who also backed this rocket company. So it does make sense to say things that will not sound nice about your competitor. Either way, it is pretty clear that he does not like Elon Musk based on how he's talking here. And yet he admits that if you want to work on EVs, Tesla is the best company. If you want to work in the space industry, SpaceX is the company to go work for. In other words, there is not that much damage that has been done, or at least not enough to convince people to no longer work at SpaceX or Tesla. We don't really see news stories, oh, thousands of people are leaving Tesla because of something that Elon Musk said. And Tesla employs over 100,000 people.